This is the ultimate hair growth oil. This is what my hair looks like if you were wondering, in its blow-dried state and curly state. This oil is so amazing and it sits in a base of rosemary oil. If you're not new to this channel, you know I absolutely love rosemary for hair growth, and I will show you how to make this, but this is not a one ingredient oil. So if you're looking for that, this is not the video. There is so much research that has been done on rosemary. So rosemary oil has anti-inflammatory properties. It promotes nerve growth, which is the only oil I've ever heard of that promotes nerve growth, and it improves your circulation. We'll get into that during the demo. It also prevents premature graying, dandruff, and dry, itchy scalp. It is as effective as minoxidil or Rogaine, which are two popular prescribed medications that you can take for hair growth, and it's even more effective than Rogaine and minoxidil when it comes to itchy scalp. Two more separate studies have shown that the leaf extract, which is completely different from the essential oil, stimulates hair growth even with balding and alopecia. So to start this oil, you want a pot with water. As you can see, it is very hot, but it is not violently boiling or even really boiling. You would want to use a bowl that is a little more sturdy. The reason why I'm using this one is because it's glass and I want you to be able to see the bottom of the bowl. The important thing is that the water should not touch the bowl. It should just be the steam. And as you can see, I'm using 100% avocado oil, and I'm using a 1/4 cup for this base. Now know that if this is the first time you are trying out this mixture, you can half the recipe, so you only have to use a little bit. As you can see, I am using fresh rosemary, and as I mentioned in the beginning, fresh rosemary tends to go bad fast. That means the oil does not have a long shelf life. If you would like to keep this oil for longer than 2 weeks to a month, depending on where you live, you'll want to use dry rosemary instead. You'll still get almost the exact same effect. I just tend to prefer using fresh rosemary, but if you want a video specifically with me using only dry rosemary, I can make that as well. So what you can see is me picking off the little leaves off each stem, and the stems that are very soft, I'm just throwing them in, and I'm making sure that everything is nicely soaked and submerged in the oil. Even though it's not too much oil, you just need a little bit. So as you can see at the bottom there, you can see that it looks like there's water at the bottom. The reason why you don't want the water to touch the bottom of the bowl is because it can actually burn the oil or denature the oil. It will be almost the same thing as putting the pan directly over the flame. So now I'm adding some moringa powder. I'm only using a teaspoon. The reason why that's not full is because that is half a tablespoon and I'm looking for exactly a teaspoon. Now moringa is a superfood and it is actually amazing for hair growth as well. I love moringa in my hair and I have used it for about a year now as well, mixed in with my other products, and it is absolutely amazing. But because it is a superfood, you do not need to put too much. A little goes a long way with most of these products because they are very potent. Another disclaimer I want to put is that if you have never used any specific ingredient in this video, I would suggest you try that ingredient by itself first to make sure you know if your hair likes it or not before you go ahead and use it. But if you have tried every ingredient in this video, you can go ahead and just make the oil just exactly how I've made it because it is super potent and powerful. So as you saw there, the rosemary had cooked for about 10 minutes without the oil ever boiling, and the reason why you can tell that it is done is because the leaves kind of change. They become a little dark gray, almost like a funny weird greenish color. That's how you know it's done. So if it's been like 5 minutes and the rosemary looks exactly the same as when you put it in the oil, you know that you need to cook it a little longer until it kind of looks a little denatured and the leaves will kind of get a little bit soft. So now I'm decanting that oil mixture into a jar after it cooled down for about 30 minutes. And now it is time to make the rest of the mix. So now I'm using about 1/8 of a cup, which is half of a 1/4 cup of castor oil. I told you they are quite a bit of oils. Now any single one of these oils could be amazing for hair growth, but the combination of all of them together makes sure that you get every single benefit and effect from all the different oils, and that's why it is amazing. So you could say castor oil would grow your hair all by itself. Sure it can, but combining it with rosemary oil and moringa and a few of the other ingredients like peppermint oil will maximize your benefits. And if this is too difficult for you, you can always reduce the amount of ingredients and just put what your hair specifically likes. This is what my hair likes, so I'm using all of it. So I'm putting 10 drops of peppermint oil. By the way, all the oils that can be found online will be listed in the description box below. So now I'm adding some tea tree oil. Now this bottle is slightly different from the other tea tree oil I usually use because this one is mixed with a little bit of vitamin E oil, which I like because vitamin E oil is great for a preservative effect and it can help extend the life of the fresh rosemary oil just a little bit longer. Next, I'm adding rosemary essential oil because I find that the benefits of the essential oil and the extract directly from the dry or fresh leaves are kind of different, so I like to maximize on both. Next, I'm using lavender essential oil, and every single essential oil I only added 10 drops each. You can use less if it is your first time, or you can use more if you feel like your hair likes it. But for me, 10 drops is pretty good. Now, the reason why I didn't heat all those oils up is because just in case any of them may have got denatured by heating them up, I wanted only one oil to risk those effects, and I put that as the avocado oil, which my hair absolutely loves. And now I am just adding that moringa and rosemary infused oil into the oil mix that we already had down there. And there'll still be a little bit left over, but I can get rid of it and use it very, very quick. So I didn't mind that. And now you can see after I've decanted it in the bottle, you can see the clear separation between the moringa and rosemary oil and the castor oil, and that is simply because the castor oil is very thick. So the way to go around this is, one, you can warm it if you want by putting it in a bowl of warm water, or you can just do what I did and shake the bottle until your arms get tired. But the good thing is, once you're done shaking, it's never going to separate again. But I still would suggest that you shake it before you use it, simply because essential oils and carrier oils are at different weights. So you want to make sure that you're getting all the benefits and not just one. So now this is what my hair was looking like on this day. It is in a protective style as usual. I just put it in some large braids. My hair was sort of freshly washed. I had no oil on my scalp, and this is how to use it. If you're wondering how to use it, as you can see, this is the same day. You do not need to let this oil sit for a month, for a week, overnight. You can use it immediately as long as it's cooled down. So I'm going to put this all over my scalp, and when it is my first day of oiling after washing my hair, which I always do either the day of washing or the next day when my hair is at least 90% dry, I am quite generous, and that is simply because I have a dry scalp naturally. I also have dry skin, so I can get away with using a little bit more oil than usual because my scalp is usually on the drier side and my hair is also extremely thick, so it's not going to weigh my hair down or make my hair feel greasy, so I can get away with it. If you want to use it exactly how I'm using it, but your hair is finer or tends to get greasy quicker, you can just put the oil on the tips of your fingers, or you can just put tiny drops on each part. Now, your hair does not need to be in twists, it does not need to be in braids. All you need is access to your scalp. So if your hair is out, just move your hair around and part it so you can access any points of your scalp. You don't have to be extremely thorough because after this we will be doing a scalp massage, and on top of that, your scalp is naturally warm, so the oil is going to move around on your scalp. So don't worry that you forgot to put oil on one single dot of your scalp. The oil is going to move and it will get access to that. So here you can see I am just putting the oil in every single line. I am not putting the dropper in between the braids even though they are large, because again, I'm pretty generous with the oil that I'm putting, and whatever oil is not going in between my braids will move during the massage process. And also just the natural heat of my hair will move it around. So these oils together are a bomb. I have made so many oils videos about these oils separately, but I thought I should show you how I like to combine my oils once I know what works. Tea tree and peppermint are amazing for stimulating the scalp. They send blood flow to that area and you can actually feel it tingling. It is refreshing. Tea tree is also antibacterial and antimicrobial. So is lavender, and lavender is also extremely calming, and it can also help reduce redness on your scalp. So putting all these oils on your scalp all affect your hair in similar ways, but also different ways, and that's why I like to maximize the benefits. Castor oil is amazing for thickening the hair, and rosemary oil, all the benefits I mentioned at the beginning. I actually have a whole video series on rosemary oil. Now it is time to maximize the benefits even more by doing a scalp massage, because trust me, if you do not do a scalp massage after you put any oil in your hair, you are severely missing out. Scalp massages by themselves are amazing, but scalp massages combined with a good oil mix or just one oil give you the best benefits, because one, you are working that oil into your scalp. Two, you are actually just stimulating your scalp even more by doing the massage. And if you can see, I do have, I believe, 2 videos on how to do a scalp massage, but if you've never seen those or you're not sure how to do a scalp massage, what you want to do is only use the pads of your fingers, no nails, no rubbing. You are just moving little sections of your scalp around using the pads of your fingers to warm it up and activate that area. This also helps wake up dead follicles, which rosemary, peppermint, and tea tree oil all do. So adding a scalp massage will actually heighten those effects. So I am very gentle when I do this. You don't want to feel any pain. You don't want to have little hairs on the ends of your fingers when you're done with the scalp massage. If you feel any pain or feel like you have excess redness or hairs on the tips of your fingers when you're done with the scalp massage, you are being too rough and you can even get adverse effects. So how often can you do this? You can do this anywhere from 1 to 4 times a week. I was watching something funny there, so it made me laugh. And that's how you can use it. That's how you can make it. My name is Angelica, aka Angie B. Hit the subscription button right on my face if you didn't click in the beginning. Watch the 2 videos on the other side of the screen. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!